that I fucked.
The following announcement has been paid for by Till 5 Wrestling.
Till 5 Wrestling. We don't need fans. We don't want to be part of your society. We're the podcast killers. We're the bad boys. Till 5 Wrestling. For life.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you hear the Notorious ATB, you see a graphic of the Notorious ATB, and
Just 10 credible for life. You see the graphic, you hear the voice, but we are trying something different this week.
yeah,
And
well,
you know what?
we had an accident, thanks to Audio Man Dave. So there was no audio on the original upload of this episode. So we're doing what the podcast killers do. We're pivoting.
Adapting.
We're giving you an episode 15 do-over. It's going to be great. And the first thing we're talking about, because apparently everybody wants to talk about Hulk Hogan right now,
Yeah.
is the 5 men who defeated Hulk Hogan in WCW.
Well, you know, Aaron, the first one is one of my mom's favorite wrestlers. So, Mom, we're going to dedicate this one to you. Sting.
Who Hogan never defeated in a one-on-one match.
That was a very surprising statistic for me to find out when you told me that last night. I never realized that.
Yeah, he's won in some tag team matches, and they've had no contest, but at no point has Hulk Hogan defeated the man called Sting.
Not even in TNA, brother.
Yeah, nor has he never even defeated the musician Sting.
He couldn't.
But also, you have the fact that Lex Luger, associate of Sting throughout their careers, probably the man who should have inducted Lex into the Hall of Fame, but DDP.
I wish that would have happened.
Yeah, but it was also fitting for DDP.
Yeah, it made sense either way.
But Lex Luger defeated Hogan. I remember that night that Luger defeated Hogan by submission on Monday Night Nitro to win the world title.
Yeah, not Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Nitro, you know.
Yeah, Monday Night Nitro. Did I say Monday Night Raw?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay. Well, don't do that to me, sir. It's a long week. Very long week. You know, I've had to listen to this playlist that some idiot made on Spotify, like Stoner's playlist, I believe that's what it's called. It's like 37 hours long.
I think it's called Let's Get Stoned.
Oh, is that what it is? Let's Get Stoned.
Yeah, I think it's like 58 hours long.
Oh, is it? Good grief.
A lot of content there. There.
A lot of time to get stoned there. Not a lot of time for Lex Luger to hold the World Heavyweight title, though, because he ended up losing it back to Hollywood Hogan 6 days later.
Yep.
Also,
that's the way it worked. That worked for Hogan, brother.
Yeah, that worked. This works for me, brother. What worked for me was Popper defeating Hollywood Hogan at Starrcade 1996. What didn't work for me was the fact that apparently the world title wasn't on the line. I was 10. Yeah. I didn't understand that.
Man, I loved Piper in WCW.
He was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then you have they had the rematch, and of course Hogan did win when the title was on the line. Because
that's true.
That worked for him, brother.
It always did.
Hogan liked to lose on television, but not on the pay-per-views when people were paying money to see it.
That's right, brother.
There's a thought. Just like when he lost to Bill Goldberg on Monday Night Nitro, quickly, might I add, and then nobody from the NWO could defeat Goldberg. That is Bill Goldberg, who had that huge win streak. The same Bill Goldberg who ended Bret Hart's career at Starrcade. Hogan loved to lose at Starrcade. Goldberg loved to win at Starrcade, especially when he kicked Bret in the head. What did you think about Goldberg beating Hollywood Hogan?
Fuck Bill Goldberg. Let's talk about number 5, the greatest man to ever beat Hulk Hogan, true Canadian hero, Jacques Rougeau. That's right, folks. The Mountie. You can see him on your screen right now. The Mountie, Jacques Rougeau. That's our faces. How about that? Hello. We've been revealed. And we're out. That's okay, because that was the Mountie.
The
And Jacques
Mountie,
Rougeau,
the Mountie defeated Hogan at a house show.
he did.
So let that sink in that Hogan was there for almost 7 years.
Yep.
Lost to 5 people. That's less than a person a year. And personally, I think that if I was Hogan, I would have been doing the proper thing and giving people the rub and putting people over. You know, Hogan liked to go out there and get the sponsorships with his wins, but he didn't like to be the man that was losing as they came back from the ad breaks or went to the ad breaks. So you're going to put over Stover's Liquidation today, Hogan. In fact, you're going to put over our good friends at Stover's Liquidation in Oak Ridge right now. Tam, tell them all about it.
That's right. They've got liquidation and wholesale home improvement. They've got truckload quantities available at www.stoverliquidation.com. You can go visit them at 481 Tulsa Road in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, or you can call them at 865-523-4449.
They are open until 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They're closed Sunday. They're available 24 hours online at www.stoversliquidation.com.
And tell
Now,
them Till 5 sent you.
there's been some breaking news in the world of wrestling today.
Yeah.
Friday, May the 2nd, with some releases. And, because WWE likes to wish people the best of luck on their future endeavors.
So there's a few more. Sorry.
Yeah.
There is a few more that we didn't include on the graphic. So Riley Osborne, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, best of luck.
Eddie Thorpe,
best of luck. He'll do great. He's going back to New Japan. He's got to.
yeah. I hope to see. These were the 5 that I saw the most promise in.
Right.
Obviously, Braun Strowman. I don't know what they've done with him at this point. They keep dropping the ball. Maybe he'll go to the NWA now. Surely,
I don't see why he wouldn't.
As new backup for EC3.
He's Tyrus too.
Yeah, that could be perfect. Or he could show up as the man to beat up EC3. Whatever.
Or Control Your Narrative can ride again. We can start that promotion back up.
We've got Dakota Kai, who was recently tweeting about wanting to be wrestling more and on TV more because she was healthy.
Man, I don't understand why they've never really done anything with her. She is really good.
And she's loved by the fans. I don't understand it.
She's over. I don't get it.
Yeah. And then they also released Gigi Dolan, who's a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion.
Yeah, that's a real surprise. That one is.
Yeah. I felt like that she fit in with the current WWE product. She had a different look than most of the women.
She's different. And then Cora Jade is another big surprise, man.
Yeah, Cora getting released was a really big surprise, especially because I feel like she was very much a CM Punk girl. And I feel like he's got a lot of pull backstage nowadays.
I don't know. It's really interesting with her. She might be one that winds up in TNA that still kind of works with them.
That's true. She might. I do think that Shayna Baszler will be great in AEW.
I think that's the biggest shock of them all, is Shayna Baszler.
Well, I think Baszler kind of hated the WWE's product. I think
she's tailor-made for a company like New Japan, or she wanted to work in Stardom. Places like that. AEW.
She'll be great in GCW.
Well, she's already been working a little bit of GCW.
The Bloodsport, yeah.
Yeah.
And Shayna was one of them that was actually getting some votes in our breaking news.
That's right.
We are having to shift our greatest women's wrestler of all time live tournament and debate to May the 30th at 7 p.m. because of some scheduling conflicts that we've had personally.
Yep. We got it figured out, and we're going to move it up a week, guys. We're sorry for the short notice, but hey, that gives you another week to catch up on your Till 5 content.
Yeah. And I will say that there is one woman on this graphic who I'm surprised didn't get enough votes when I made the original graphic. I thought for sure that EO Sky had earned enough love from the internet
Yeah.
fans to make it in there, but she did not. We are going to be covering China. We've already covered Gail, Tony Storm, Charlotte Flair. Lots of great women will be in this tournament. Now, I am happy to let Tan in that
That's
the
right.
last woman to make it, our final person, is the Awesome Kong, Queen Kong, Karma, if you will.
Man,
And
anybody that knows me knows that I am a gigantic Awesome Kong mark. When I was a kid, Awesome Kong was power bombing people all over the place nonstop. She was dominant. She is a 2-time TNA Knockouts champion. She is a 1-time Knockouts tag team champion with Hamada. You heard our episode where we touched on Gail Kim. Hopefully, if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
last
She
week's
is
episode, not hard
That's
to
right.
find.
She is synonymous with working with Gail Kim, having great matches nonstop, particularly at Slammiversary.
The Turning Point,
Yeah, the Turning Point match was fantastic.
she
Uh,
tossed Gail Kim all over that. I watched that a few times in the last week. It was fun.
yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Awesome Kong is somebody that I wish had a better shake in wrestling. On the grand scheme, seemed like some bad luck plagued her along the way.
Yeah, and she needed some, pun intended, good karma.
Yeah,
After her WWE run kind of got cut short.
she did when she debuted in the Royal Rumble, man. That was really cool.
Yeah,
In the men's Rumble, that was
and then
pre-women's Rumble.
she had that bad run in AEW with Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, the Nightmare Collective and Male and Luther.
Yeah, I'm glad that Luther ended up okay. The one
Yeah,
that none of us asked for. He ended up fine.
Luther's there because he's Jericho's buddy.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to hearing you argue that Awesome Kong belongs
Well, Aaron,
past the first round.
you know,
If Till 5 decides to draft her, we got to figure out exactly how we're going to do this when it's another greatest of all
it's
time.
just we learned the first time that there's more strategy than just drafting who you like.
Yeah, and maybe we'll really shake it up and just do us against the sharpshooters. And
Maybe
me and you won't be on the same team.
we could do that.
Yeah,
That would be very interesting.
it would be.
Maybe
But
we'll do that.
we might have to. We might have to do that with that. Maybe we'll break through a glass ceiling with that one.
We
Maybe
could
that could be the thing. I really want to get some women though. Are there any women that can handle hanging with Till 5 Wrestling to talk about
reach out to
wrestling?
us.
Yeah, the thing is, I've looked online. You know what I found? I found nothing but a bunch of men talking about women's wrestling in groups. I would really like to see at least one female women's wrestling fan step up and decide to pod with us. Come on. What's it take?
Open invitation.
Open invitation. You know where else you've got an open invitation to go?
Where, Aaron?
To Stover's Liquidation, especially our good friends in Cookeville at 452 West Broad Street, Cookeville, Tennessee. You can call them at 931-526-2591. They are available 24 hours a day at www.stoversliquidation.com. They have liquidation and wholesale home improvement items available. Truckload quantities are available. They are closed on Sundays. Go see our good friends, our sponsors at Stover's Liquidation.
And tell them Till 5 sent you. Well, now let's put some respect on another woman's name. A woman that Aaron, I think, or ATB. I'm sorry I keep calling you by your shoot name, good brother.
Not being a good brother.
I'm not being a good brother right now. I'm breaking kayfabe, brother.
You're buying at Waffle House next time.
All right, I got you.
Loaded, smothered, and covered.
I got you. Dude, don't take me to podcasters court. That'd be the worst possible outcome.
I hear that's at Wrestling Society, but we don't go there.
No,
they don't invite us to their shows.
Nobody
the only
goes
person
there.
that gets invited anywhere is you.
I do get invited to places sometimes. My beard has created quite a controversy on social media as of late.
Well, it's like I'm too snarky for these people, and maybe they should just
Might be.
come at me. bros or sisses or whatever. Come on,
Yeah.
let's talk. Let's talk wrestling. Calamity Jane, you're out there. Why don't you hit us up? Anyways,
Well,
Mercedes Monet,
let's
not
put some
Sasha.
respect on somebody's name. That's
Yes.
right. Mercedes Moné. ATB, this is somebody that you have come around on recently.
I have turned the corner immensely. I think that she worked us all really well with her gimmick at first in AEW.
It worked if that's what she was doing.
I think that it might have been. I don't think that she's like a great wrestler by any means, but this character is working for me now.
I do think she's a pretty good wrestler, man.
But
You know,
she's
I
okay.
was a fan of Sasha Banks, you know, when she was in WWE.
I wasn't.
Five-time WWE Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, and she lost the belt immediately.
Yeah, that's
She
pretty
had
much how
zero
it goes
title
for women
defense.
in WWE.
Huh?
Yeah, that's how it goes for a lot of women in WWE,
Yeah, well,
unfortunately.
she has really, her matches lately have really been a massive step up to me.
Yeah, man, even her feud with Harley Cameron in recent years or in recent months has been really great.
Yeah, I love the stuff she's doing with Athena. I hope that Athena pops in
Yeah,
at Double or Nothing. And that's another thing I'm glad about. We're at least going to have Double or Nothing in our rear view when we do our live.
that's right.
So we're not having to think about what's to come for these people.
Yeah, and
as
you
much.
know, she's also done some great work in New Japan, man. Being an IWGP Women's Champion and the current New Japan Strong Women's Champion.
She has. She really went from being a person that was known about being an entertainer and being all entertainment to being all elite.
Yep, and she's done good, man. She's done really great, and that's 5.